Hello, beloveds. Here is Ima from the holographic playground. And today I would love to share with you about the Akashic Records. And what I have decided is to share with you my very personal encounter with the Akashic Records, within the Akashic Records, the experience, because all over Dr. Google and all over the internet and YouTube, you will find a lot of information, a lot of videos around how to access them and what they are and what is this field. Speaking about my very personal encounter is also bringing in this very urgence of opening the Akash. Was years ago. I was in Egypt in the Dendera temple. It was one beautiful morning, very quiet, unusually quiet in the temple. I was by the lake. I have been streaming and strolling around the temple, inside the temple, outside of the temple, and then just sitting by the lake in meditation, I got into a celestial meeting. And I mean exactly that it was a celestial meeting, the Egyptian natures, the Egyptian beings, they surrounded me and we started a conference. They have been giving instructions about this new phase of the work. And they were talking about the Akashic Records. And I didn't know anything about that by that time. I was just listening. I was asking hundreds of questions. It was a long meeting, around 2 hours, and I was able to ask every question I needed. And the Pantheon was really surrounding me. Of course, not visible for the others. And every being, every goddess, every god was able to answer from her own perspective and power and energy. What happened after that celestial meeting is that I met a woman who opens the Akashic Records in Luxor, and she wanted to swap. She needed a homeopathic remedy. As many of you know, I have been practicing homeopathy for more than 2 decades, working with triturations and creating new remedies, new modern remedies inside of the field. And she needed a remedy. So I told her, okay, would you like to open my Akash? And she said, yes. So I did her interview, I gave her a remedy, and she opened my Akash. And it was very clear that I am the one who is able to access the Akash very easily. So I asked her, how can I do this? Then she said, I learned it from Linda Howard. Why don't you just use that prayer and see what you're going to go with it and learn from it? So I did. I went back to Cairo. I opened the Akash for one of my homeopath colleagues by that time. Then I opened it back home in Germany with my husband and then with many close friends. And then it was very clear that something is happening inside of the field through me. When I started to understand about how others are working with the Akash, I was understanding that they are accessing the field with very specific questions. So you could come to me or to others with a very specific questions. With me, it didn't work like that. I actually opened the Akash and then they transmitted a whole vision through me. Very, very fast, I understood that this vision is a kind of a blueprint of your soul vision across all lifelines. And this brings me to this very unique vision that the Akashic field and the Akashic lords are transmitting through me. They want us to be in our most powerful potency and potential. They want us to unfold ourselves to this highest level possible. And when they transmit that vision, they use a lot of images, they use a lot of insights from many lifelines of the person. Um, Sometimes I really can see also in the future in many lifelines, but they don't see it in a linear way. So they will not say this is the past, this is the present, this is the future. They are actually transmitting a holographic, a multidimensional lifetime sphere of your soul blueprint. And it is a grand vision. So you get this vision and you work with it maybe for 1 or 2 years. Actually, it will accompany you for a long, long time. What I felt around opening the Akashic Records is also the field. So we are opening a unifying field. I have learned that Seshat, that the goddess Seshat, she's very clearly defined in the Egyptian cosmology. She has this star, the seven branched star upon her head. And she's the female scribe. She's the counterpart of Thoth, Tehoti. We call him Tehoti, the creator of the emerald tablets. And of course, he is the wisdom keeper. And he's coming to many, many people in this time now to push them to craft their own visions, their own projects, their own wisdom into this world. And Seshat has been with me all the time since then. First of all, because I started to write my book, and now my second book is being releasing this year. And I felt that Seshat is almost like a guardian for the field. And when I talk about the Akashic Records, I feel that the Sphinx, Edgar Cayce, has been telling us that beneath the Sphinx is a hidden record keeping library. When we talk about the Akash, we would maybe say it is a cosmic library. When I open the Akash, I use the very specific legal name of the person. I feel like I am in a library and I'm really taking that that very specific record out of the library. So I'm very specific with the name and with the accessing of the records in this way. And I'm still using the Linda Howe prayer. But just last week, when we launched this YouTube channel, we received a prayer for our own field. It's a prayer with 4 goddesses: goddess Seshat in the north, the goddess Sekhmet in the south. It's the lioness, it's the fierce protector of the field. Then, of course, we have Hathor, who is the goddess of music, dance, joy, giving of the milk, the giver, the Ma frequency. And then the goddess Bast, the cat goddess, came into the field. She is the seducer into this world. She brings it all into this world. She brings it all into this field. As you know about the holographic being field, I have put some aspects of it in my welcome video. So I would like to invite you to just watch the welcome video. And with these 4 goddesses, bringing in the elements of air, water, fire, and earth into the field and the Akash. And I will be sharing with you a very small exercise to enter the Akash yourself. Through me, there is a very specific vision that you receive. And I do believe that every Akashic reader, professional or in any way possible, they have their own angle, so to speak, their own perspective. So every Akashic reader will be very specific about what they transmit. Is it more in the past? Is it more like answering questions? Is it more like a vision? I'm calling it the visionary Akash in our field. That's the diversity of it, and that's the whole play of it, that every Akashic reader, even you, can enter the field. And I would like to share this very small practice to enter your own field. Of course, be grounded, very deeply grounded with Mother Earth or Father Gap in our cosmology. So I love both. I love the mother and the father. So the mother is the embracing, the unfolding, the giving, and the father is the solidifying, the material, the stability, the structural world. And when you are connected to the earth, wherever you are sitting or lying down, because when you receive the Akash, actually you lie down, there are very beautiful healing energies. We had visions only for receiving healing energies. And I would say stay seated in cross-legged or on the chair, because when you enter the Akash, it's a realm that is very deep. So a lot of people will just go into sleep or will go off the lane. And of course, you will never do this while driving, never ever, not even when you are stuck in a rush hour. And when you're closing your eyes, and you can also use a mudra. It's the Vasika Piscis. When you put two circles together, you will have the Vasika Piscis. It's almost like an eye. And you can have it here on your crown chakra. You can have it here on your heart. And sometimes I'm having it also on my belly, on my womb. It's a receiver as well. Whatever, you can even work without the mudra. And then bring in the Akash. The Akash field or the Akash element. So we have the four other elemental aspects: water, earth, air, and fire. The Akash element is very much dark purple and flecked with golden. And it's the breathing, like the very deep breathing. You will feel it. It's almost like Edgar Cayce, like you go in a deep theta waveline. You're very relaxed. You are a receiver. You feel yourself almost like a dog or a cat, opening up all your pores and receive the messages, whatever that message is and however it is coming to you. The messages that come to me are actually going through many, many sensory aspects, and the Akash is always talking about this. They are not seeing 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 senses. They are actually talking about hundreds of senses that we have, kinesthetic senses. And we are bringing them all together almost like a painter. Like you have the basic colors, 3 colors, 5 colors, and then the painter can make hundreds of colors out of these baselines. It's very similar to the sensory aspect inside of the Akash. So I sometimes listen to the messages. Sometimes I get an idea, so my eyes are open, so I get a clue. When I see something, then I can incorporate the storytelling. It's almost like a storytelling, like a visionary sensory storytelling. And when I receive a divinatory aspect, or I receive some aspects from the life, this lifeline or any lifeline across all lifelines from the person, I close my eyes to listen deeply, and it's a very sensitive field. So you would love to have the space empty of any noise, even the pets, like I love my cats and the dogs and all beings, but I would like the pets to get out of the space, especially when you're opening your own field, especially when you are very sensitive for the messages that are coming in. And then the second phase of this is that you are receiving a message in any way possible, in any sensory aspect or multisensory or kinesthetic sensory possible. Then the interpretation or the applying of that message is very important. That's why I'm actually doing always a follow-up session with my people a few weeks later, I always say, if you receive the Akash from me, I would say wait a moon cycle, because there will be raining after we close the Akash for you. There will be raining a lot of messages. So it's exactly when you are doing it on your own, you just very, very sensitive to all the synchronicities, to all the signals, to all the messages, to all the serendipities that are entering into your life. And I always say, have a little small book with you to catch these muses and these messages in the air. And then the interpretation, I would say it's a playful way of interpreting it. It's a playful way of how you bring it down. Most of the time, I would love to bring something very manifesting, very practical inside of somebody who opens the Akash. Because sometimes the vision is so grand, and a lot of people will say, hey, but this has nothing to do with me now. You know, like now I'm a yoga teacher and I'm not a world teacher. Or maybe now, okay, so this grand vision, how can I bring it to myself? So that is the follow-up session that I'm doing. I unpack this vision for you, and I put some steps, like action steps. It's almost like a manifestational instrument. I always, even now, my very first Akash that I received is still living with me now. And then after a while, you can listen to it, to the recording. So maybe you would like to record your own voice during your receiving of the messages, or maybe you write down because you are awake, so you're not in sleep mode. So maybe you jot down some words. Maybe you will connect it to some anchors into your world. So maybe you will be looking at something during the vision, and then you connect it to that stool or to that crystal or to whatever is anchoring this message for you now. I would love you to have fun with this practice. It's a meditative aspect, and I have been getting feedbacks from many of my friends. I have shared this many times on a podcast, and it's, you know, like you just connect to me, and I'm very happy, of course, to open your visionary Akash, and I'm happy to support you in any way possible. Because I do believe that we are all accessing the unifying field. It's the unifying field. It's like Albert Einstein says, it's like Tesla is saying, they tap into that field. They are almost like, I don't like this word downloading because it's so mechanical. I think that the whole being is inside of that field, and the whole being is receiving. So it's a sensory aspect. It's not a downloading of a software. And it is almost like poetry. It's almost like a gift for yourself and for this world. If you have any question, just DM me. Just put this question on the YouTube channel, and I will answer as much as I can from my own deep experience. And I just invite you to go and play with it. We are here inside of the holographic playground, and I'm Ima, your host. I would love you to subscribe, hit the notification button, and like the video if it has any aspect that has touched you deeply. And of course, just ask, what would you like to know? You know, like I had a podcast with one of my best friends, and she said, hey, in this podcast, there were so many aspects I never knew about you. So ask me questions, request a theme, and I will do the video around it. Playfulness, entrepreneurship, receiving, crafting your vision inside of the unifying field. Be well, beloveds. Here is Eva from the holographic playground. I love you.